Hi, my name is Keisha Davis Pritchard, and I'm going to share with you just some information about Phyliss Wheatley. Historian Laurel Thatcher Ulrich has focused her career on studying many historical female figures, describing her approach as honoring the silent work of ordinary people. I view Phyliss Wheatley as an ordinary individual who accomplished extraordinary feats, despite the hardships she faced. Born around 1753 in Senegal, Africa, she was captured by slave traders and brought to America in 1761. There, at the age of about 8, she was sold to John Wheatley, a wealthy Boston merchant who happened to be in poor health at the time. He brought her for his wife, Susanna, who needed a companion for domestic tasks and company. The Wheatleys quickly realized that Phyliss was bright and eager to learn, so they would educate her alongside their children. Within just 16 months, she could read the Bible, classical Latin, and Greek texts, British literature, even studied astronomy and geography. By the age of 12, she had begun writing poetry, with her first poem published in 1767. Her poem honored George Whitefield in 1770 brought her early recognition. Despite enjoying a rare level of privilege for an enslaved person, Phyliss yearned for a true academic environment. And in 1772, at 18, she had 28 poems ready for publication, advertised for subscribers in Boston. However, when it became known that the author was a black girl, support waned. Frustrated, the Wheatleys sought a publisher in London. In 1773, with financial backing from Selina Hastings, the Countess of Huntingdon, a supporter of evangelical and abolitionist causes, they found Archibald Bell, a bookseller, to publish and distribute her book. Phyliss would travel to London with the Wheatley's son, Nathaniel, to publish her first poetry collection. She was warmly received and celebrated by dignitaries and abolitionists. As she returned from London, Bell was already distributing Phyllis's first poetry volume, Poems on Various Subjects, Religious and Moral, the first book by a black woman in America. Her poetry incorporated classical and neoclassical elements, biblical symbolism, and pride in her African heritage. Wheatley and her book became a revolutionary phenomenon. As Phyliss Wheatley's book grew in popularity, it briefly brought together figures from opposing sides. Yes, it was a peacemaker, such as Governor Thomas Hutchinson and Boston resistance leader John Hancock, who both admired her poetry. In 1774, Phyliss was freed from enslavement with the Wheatley family. However, after the family's deaths, she was left without support and faced challenges in securing funding for further publications. Her work caught the attention of Benjamin Rush, a Philadelphia physician and anti-slavery advocate who saw her writing as proof of black people's shared humanity. During the American Revolution, both loyalists and patriots claimed Wheatley's voice. Loyalists viewed her as a tool to gain support from enslaved people for Britain, while patriots saw her as a symbol of human advancement. Phyliss navigated this complex landscape, expressing support for the patriot cause while opposing slavery and wrote letters to ministers and others advocating for liberty and freedom. Her book, written by a woman slave celebrating American liberty, highlighted the irony of a nation conflicted with itself. At the height of her career, Phyllis wrote a praise poem about George Washington's appointment as commander of the Continental Army. On April 1st, 1778, Phyllis married John Peters, a free black man, despite her friends' disapproval. They lived decently as free blacks until the Revolution ended. They then fell into poverty, with John being unemployed and Phyllis working as a scrub woman in a boarding house. She continued writing and publishing, though on a very limited scale. Over the next few years, she published 3 books and another poetry volume under her married name, Phyliss Peters. At 31, Phyliss Wheatley died on December 1st, 1784, from childbirth complications, along with her infant later that day. Her last published poem ends with a hopeful vision of a heavenly afterlife. In addition to her legacy in American literature, Wheatley's literary and artistic talents demonstrated that African Americans were equally creative, intelligent, determined, and capable when educated. She symbolizes gaining freedom from bondage through education, but she believes slavery hindered true heroism for the colonist. Thank you.